Why am I so angry? Because when somebody calls it conspiracy, and I watched Roan and Bub and Dave and Dawes at the time, I watched them evaporate. So when he said it was a conspiracy, it's like, hell yeah, I was pissed off. And I was pissed off for many, many years. But Obama is the one that really is the one that's held responsible, should have been held responsible for it all.
What was it like for you to see the Obama administration blatantly lie about something you saw firsthand? Blame the attack on something unrelated and refuse to call it a terrorist attack. How did it feel to be on the ground at the annex and realize that help was not coming? Let's do one question first.
Well, let's go first with the help not coming. So let's go on a timeline there.
We can skip that. We'll do that.
We'll do that. Okay, so give me number, because the feeling.
What was it like for you to see the Obama administration blatantly lie about something you saw first?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, watch Fox and Friends, the last interview I ever did on Fox and Friends with Pete Hegseth. It was back in 2014 or 15, where somebody caught him on a cell phone. It was either at Loyola or one of those liberal colleges there in Chicago. I can't remember which one. And he said Benghazi was a conspiracy. He didn't know he was being filmed. And of course, they threw it on the TV. It's at 6 a.m. I was actually in Springfield. I was going to go speak at an event that was sponsored by the guy that owns Bass Pro. So I was staying out at the Bass Pro resort up there, and told Pete I couldn't be there. I said I got to zoom in. So I zoomed in at 6 a.m. and I'm half asleep. This was my 5th speaking event in like 7 days, just spent, and pissed me off. Well, why would it? Of course, it pissed me. I mean, all those lines continually. It was angry. It made me full of hate. And what did I say? And you can watch it. It's out there on YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. He said, "What did you feel after you watched Benghazi call it a conspiracy?" And I said, "Well, Pete," I said, "I wanted to reach for the TV and I wanted to choke his ass. I wanted to choke him out." And Pete, his eyes got big. He goes, probably don't want to be threatening a former U.S. president. And I said, "Pete, you asked me." And that was my last ever Fox interview, actually, I ever did. And I did get visited by the Secret Service 2 weeks later. Luckily, I knew the guys. They showed up at my house. And like, "Chris, we got to be here. You're threatening the president on national TV." And but if that tells you my anger, right there. I mean, without even thinking, skipping a beat. And it wasn't to create, it wasn't to troll accounts. It wasn't to do clickbait. It was an immediate reaction. As soon as I saw it, it was like, that mother. And I didn't want to kill him. Let's get in the ring. I'm going to put you in a lock and let's see how you feel, man. That's what I felt. So, of course, I was angry. I was angry for a lot of years. And I think if you watch there's speeches that I've done out there. I just still do corporate talks. I just did, that's why I'm in Nashville and do your show. And I did a talk at the Gaylord there. In the early days, the speeches were very, very angry because nobody was being held accountable. Mm-hmm. And there were people that were calling us liars. And it's hard to be called a liar, guys. When I saw Roan and I was shooting over their heads when those 3 mortars, through a fire for effect, hit right on top of Building C. The 5th attack that night. And I was shooting, and it wasn't, the movie showed as daytime. It was actually, before morning nautical twilight. It was right before this, you know what that is. Your viewers can Google that. It's right before the sun comes up, so it's still dark. So my night vision was still on. My 15s were on. And remember the first one blew up on the backside of Building C. It was right over the top. Roan spun. He went cyclic on that belt fed, which was pretty freaking awesome because all I'm seeing is a laser beam as he turns and they're coming to attack us through the sheep slaughterhouse area. I put a few rounds over his head because I want to get in the fight, even though I can't see that because I'm back behind them on Building A. He's on Building C. Dave Ubben shoots. Oz is up there. He shoots. Bub is up there. He's shooting. So I'm seeing all this fire. I'm shooting. I'm thinking, shit, mortars this way. They got to be bringing a whole force following those mortars in. So I turn around, make sure nobody's coming. Nobody's there. Come back. 2 more shots. I see one hit directly right on top. Night vision goes completely white. This overabundance, like white. As it comes back, I saw 4, and now there's 3. So the guy disappeared, and I can hear him screaming. Even in all that, I can still hear him. It was Dave. I didn't know it at the time, but it was Ubben. just sheared his leg off, sheared his arm. They were hanging. So not completely gone, but he's legs this way, arms this way. How do I know that? Tig got up there when he saw Dave. Tig told me what his arms and legs looked like. Take a few more shots, because what can you do? We're still getting attacked. We're in the middle of a fight. You know what it is. You can't stop fighting. What am I going to do? Run off my building and go help? He's got 3 guys up there. I got to keep fighting. I got my sector behind me I got to take. I turn around. I come back. They're still shooting. I took 2 more shots, and then I saw boom, boom, boom. If you've been in artillery, you call for fire, and you know what that is. That's fire for effect. They're right where they want to hit it. Night vision goes white. And as it comes back, all I see is the pixie dust. It got quiet. It got silent. Really weird. I thought they were going to keep coming. And all I saw was the charged particles, because, blow up, explosion, the debris, the dust gets either heated or charged, and it looks like it does. It looks like pixie dust coming down with those with my night vision starts to come back and refocus from the white light. And they were all gone. And my brain said, your team just got turned to dust. It's like, holy, I mean, it was, and it felt like longer than what it was. It was only a few seconds, but I put my head down, and I remember thinking, and it was the one time negatively I thought that every other time, and there was negative things happen, but that was the one time where it was like that, holy shit, we might lose this. And I said, man, we can't beat this. I'm thinking to myself, we don't have any air support. They're going to fucking keep hammering us. And, God was there all night, man. And God kicked me in my ass and said, get your gun up, Ranger. And I know people are going, oh, fuck, that's what happened.
What do you mean God kicked you in the ass and said, get up?
Quit whining. Quit feeling like a victim.
Is that a feeling you got? Is that a voice you heard?
Voice in the back of my head right there. I still feel it. I still get chills. And maybe it was my mom saying it, but to me, it was that voice of God. It was something saying, we don't quit. You don't quit. Get your gun up. Keep fighting. And I said, get your gun up, Ranger. That's what I heard. And that's being a Ranger too. And that's what Rangers are. When you're at the 75th, get your gun up. Get your gun up. You're not quitting. Keep fighting. Keep pressing through. You learn that from RIP, which is option 40 now, or RAS now. You learn that throughout. That's what's instilled in you. Rangers before you, what'd they do in Vietnam? The hunter-killer teams, they ran towards the fight. What'd they do when they jumped into Rio Hato? They ran towards the fight. There's no cover. They shot their way off the earth, the tarmac. In Grenada, what'd they do? They ran towards the fight. Now get your gun up, Ranger. Why? And so why am I so angry? Because when somebody calls it a conspiracy, and I watched Ron, I watched Ron and Bub and Dave and Dawes at the time. I thought I watched them evaporate. That's what I did with my brain. It's like, holy shit, those guys they're gone. I've seen death before, but have you ever saw where your friends just like they're there and they're not? So when he said it was a conspiracy, it's like, hell yeah, I was pissed off. And I was pissed off for many, many years. And it did hurt a lot of the relationship, hurt my relationship with my wife and my kids at the time. So to ask, it's a great question, but it also points to how irresponsible politicians are with their words.
Yeah.
And how they don't give a shit. And him especially. Hillary got what she deserved. She wasn't president. She was humiliated. She lost. Is she going to get more? Yeah, she's going to get more. When she stands before her maker with God, God's going to judge her, and I hope he judges her, and he's going to. He's going to judge her well, how she should. Obama's the one that got over scot-free. He was the commander-in-chief. Come on, man. Who's supposed to help get people to us? Is it Hillary in State Department? Granted, she was hugely responsible. So was Leon Panetta. General Ham could have done something. But who was the commander-in-chief?
Who was General Ham?
He was the Eurocomp commander. He was the one that...
And for everybody knows, Leon Panetta was director of CIA at the time.
At the time, and then he went to the SecDef, became SecDef and all that. But actually, he could have done something too. And but Obama is the one that really is the one that's held responsible. Should have been held responsible for it all. And also with the rhetoric, Al-Qaeda, remember, people forget that. What was his platform at the time? Al-Qaeda was on the run. Terrorism is dead. He knew it wasn't. That's who attacked us. You had Sarah on. She knows it better than anybody. Who was the one that masterminded that?
Yeah.
Zawahiri. He's number 2 Al-Qaeda.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, Share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.